Ever feel like your boomer parents just don't understand your life choices? Or worse, does it sometimes feel like they actively disapprove of who you are or what you're trying to build? It's a quiet question that often echoes in the minds of Gen Z and millennials. Why is there such a profound, sometimes painful disconnect with our boomer parents, to the point where it can feel like outright resentment? We're not talking about the usual family squabbles. We're exploring a deeper, pervasive sense of criticism that leaves many feeling misunderstood and unappreciated. Today, we are going to untangle the complex threads of generational differences, societal shifts, and perhaps even unspoken expectations that might explain this deeply felt dynamic. Let's be clear from the start. Very few parents truly hate their children. That word is harsh and often inaccurate. But the feeling that they do, or that they're deeply unhappy with us, is very real for many. To understand this, we need to step back and look at the worlds these two generations grew up in. Our boomer parents, born between 1946 and 1964, came of age in a time of unprecedented economic growth following World War II. Think booming industries, widespread suburban expansion, and a general sense of optimism. The path to a stable life often felt clearer. Get a good job, ideally with one company for life, buy a house, get married, and have kids. There was a strong cultural emphasis on conformity, hard work, and providing for your family, often at the expense of personal fulfillment or emotional expression. Mental health wasn't widely discussed, and challenges were often met with a pull-yourself-up-by-your-bootstraps mentality. Success was largely defined by material possessions and societal benchmarks. Now, consider the world Gen Z and millennials inherited. We were born into an era of economic uncertainty, rapid technological change, and global interconnectedness. We witnessed recessions, the dot-com bubble burst, the 2008 financial crisis, and now unprecedented inflation. The traditional pathways that seemed so clear for boomers often feel like locked doors for us. Buying a house feels like a distant dream, student debt is a crushing weight, and the idea of a stable, lifelong career at one company is practically a myth. Our definition of success often includes work-life balance, purpose-driven careers, authenticity, and robust mental well-being, rather than just material accumulation. We've grown up exposed to diverse perspectives, social justice movements, and a constant flow of information that questions traditional norms. This brings us to a fundamental clash of realities and values. When boomers look at their adult children, they often see struggles with things that in their era seemed more attainable. They might see delayed milestones, later marriages, fewer home purchases, career paths that aren't linear or secure in the traditional sense. It's easy for them to interpret these delays not as symptoms of a changed economic landscape, but as a lack of effort, poor decision-making, or even laziness on our part. They might remember working hard from a young age, saving diligently, and buying a house with what feels like less struggle, and they project that experience onto us. It's like they're looking at our lives through a lens shaped by their own history, and everything looks out of focus. This generational gap often manifests as unsolicited advice that feels irrelevant or dismissive. When a boomer parent suggests, just save up for a house like we did, or why don't you just get a stable job and stick with it? It can feel deeply invalidating. They're offering solutions from a world that no longer exists, and our attempts to explain our current economic realities or our different priorities can be met with skepticism or outright dismissal. It's hard for them to see that the game has fundamentally changed, that the rules they played by no longer apply, and that our struggles are often systemic, not just personal failings. Then there's the psychological aspect. Some sociologists suggest that part of this tension might stem from a feeling of being surpassed, or perhaps even resentment over the perceived ease or privilege of younger generations, despite the very real struggles we face. Boomers often worked incredibly hard, sometimes sacrificing personal happiness for stability. When they see Gen Z and millennials prioritizing mental health, setting boundaries at work, or pursuing less conventional careers, it can be interpreted as weakness, entitlement, or a lack of gratitude for the opportunities they believe they provided. It can feel like their sacrifices are being undervalued. Another layer is the changing nature of parenting itself. Boomers were often raised with a more authoritarian style. Children were seen and not heard, and obedience was paramount. While they might have tried to be more lenient than their own parents, that underlying expectation of deference can still linger. Our generations, however, often prioritize open communication, questioning authority, and personal autonomy. This can lead to friction when we don't blindly accept their advice or when we challenge their perspectives. They might perceive our independence as defiance, our open communication as disrespect, or our self-advocacy as selfishness. Ultimately, this feeling of parental disapproval isn't just about individual personalities. It's a symptom of a profound societal shift. It's a clash between two generations shaped by vastly different historical, economic, and cultural forces. Boomers wanted a better life for their kids, but that better life often looks nothing like the one they envisioned. Their frustration might stem from a place of fear for our future, colored by their own experiences and unable to fully grasp the new landscape we navigate. It's not necessarily hatred, but perhaps a complex mix of misunderstanding, fear, unacknowledged systemic changes, and a generational mourning for a world that no longer exists. Understanding this doesn't erase the pain, but it helps us see the bigger picture beyond personal attacks. For more insights into generational dynamics, click on the video now appearing on your screen.